And it's a pleasant evening down in the valley, and we have some big changes on the way. It certainly felt like summer today. Well, we still are in summer. We're still in August. It's still the hottest portion of the year. But once we get to Tuesday, we might have a little taste of fall in our hands here. But it was a hot day. We hit 101 in Fresno, 102 for Hanford and Lemoore, 101 in Porterville, 98 in Merced. North Valley was cooler than the rest of the valley, so that's a sign that there's a change on the way, a cool change for Central California. That high of 101 in Fresno, above the average of 98 and well below the record of 112 set back in 1996. Temperatures tonight still kind of warm out there, at least for Fresno and Hanford at 80 and 81 degrees, 79 in Visalia and 74 in Madera. And compared to 24 hours ago, most of the valley is a little bit cooler compared to this time yesterday. Matter of fact, Merced is running 6 degrees cooler tonight than the rest of the valley here. We have a push of cool air coming from the coast, that onshore flow. It's finally bringing in cooler conditions into Central California through the passes and Delta. And that's why we have a bit of a breeze tonight, especially for Hanford, 16-mile-an-hour winds here. But you see the contours in our map. Winds are kind of picking up on the west side of the valley, western Fresno and Kings County. It will be breezy tomorrow night, even on a Tuesday as well, as more cool air pushes into Central California. Thanks to the system that began in the Gulf of Alaska, it's now driving into the Pacific Northwest, and it will finally push this ridge of high pressure that's keeping us hot. It will finally push out of the way, but that ridge will come back into play later on in the week. We'll return to seasonable conditions, upper 90s throughout most of the valley, but it looks like we might be free from the triple digits for a while here. We still have a ways to go. They are still possible all the way until early October for the valley. Air quality good for most areas tomorrow, moderate though in Fresno and Tulare counties. And there's some smoke from the wildfires up near Yosemite, especially the Wawona fire. It was a little hazy throughout the day. Then that hazy buildup was really strong later on the day when the new fire broke out here. So that's going to be an issue for a while. You can see that here from this time lapse from Glacier Point overlooking Half Dome. So keep that in mind if you're going up to the Sierra, but much cooler compared to the past few days, and no threat of thunderstorms. Temperatures will be in the 70s and 80s for tomorrow, so that's going to feel really nice up there. Photo communities, most spots tomorrow in the low 90s, but a few areas, Oakhurst and Mariposa, only in the mid 80s tomorrow afternoon. Winds will pick up just a little bit from the southwest, about 5 to 15 miles an hour. And of course, here in the valley, a pleasant evening ahead of us. Overnight lows will be in the 60s valley-wide. We're finally leaving the 70s. Cooler temperatures overnight. Winds will be picking up from the west-northwest, about 5 to 15 miles an hour. Tomorrow, low 90s. We have 90 for Merced, 91 in Madera, but the extreme north valley, I'm talking about Gustine, Livingston, Atwater, you may only end up at 88, 89 degrees for tomorrow. Extended forecast shows temperatures in the 80s valley-wide on Tuesday. I think a couple of spots will stay in the 80s on Wednesday, but Fresno at 92. Then the rest of the week into next weekend, seasonable conditions, mid to upper 90s throughout most of the valley under mostly sunny skies. So certainly nice to have cooler conditions on the way. And if we look past next weekend, we might cool off a little bit more as well. So it looks like we're getting a long-deserved break from the heat here in the valley.
Yes, just in time to view that eclipse everybody's been talking about.
Right, it looks like things are going to work out for us here, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too hazy up there where all the wildfires are for those folks to see it.
Yeah, I think we'll get another push of cool air to mix up the atmosphere, so yeah.
Sounds great.